Welcome back to Getting Started with Apache Solr Search Server with Robert Elwell. This is our final section, Section 8, Advanced Concepts. In this section, we will discuss grouping results in our sample web application, using the highlighting component for Solr native snippets and highlighting, how to implement Solr's spellcheck component, and advanced usage for the more like this request handling. We'll now be examining some more advanced approaches to using the Apache Solr Search solution. We're going to build off of the example site that we were using in the previous set of videos. So, if you have already pulled down the beer site code, you'll notice that there is a branch called Advanced. Advanced contains 4 commits that follow the videos that we're going to be reviewing. So, what I would like to do is kind of start at the first commit, which is what we'll be looking at now, and then move forward over time so that we don't look at too many things at once. Because in the end, we should have the aggregate of all 4 of the changes that we're making. This video focuses on group search results. So, how do we implement group search, and what exactly does that mean? So, first off, let's start our Python server again. Just in case we forgot how to do that. Alright, so now that our site is running, we can navigate to it. Alright, so as you can see, we have a group button, and we can search for hops, and say we want to group it, and now our results are grouped by the different brewing companies for matches on the term hops. So let's take a look at how we made these changes. Okay, so going into the beer site folder, let's take a look at the views file. Here we are in the search view function, and as you can see, we have added a few additional parameters to the search query. Group equals true if the button, the checkbox was clicked for grouping, and false otherwise. Note that we're setting the strings true and false, not the native Python scalars true or false. And then we identify the field in the schema that we want to group by. And then unless we pass a group limit value, we will actually be only returning 1 result per grouping. So if you run into that, make sure that you have been explicit about your grouping limit. So how does this work in the actual template? Well, first off, we have to decide whether or not the groupings were passed along. So let's take a look at the template now and see how passing along grouping helps us. So, on our way down, we are at the search results iteration, and here we say if we are grouping our results, we'll use this partial. Otherwise, we'll use a refactored version of the old search result markup. So what does this look like? Well, search result.html is what we were used to before. But grouped search result actually contains something different. So first off, we have to get our variables in the right scope, and then we actually are nesting in the search result template that we were skipping using in the main search results template. Note here that we are using the group value of the result, and note that in order to get these correct values, we actually have to identify the appropriate component in the search response that we want to be iterating over. So, the search results model for this Python package actually allows you to iterate over the proper field if you only want default search results. Otherwise, we are specifying which list we want to iterate over, which is the grouped brewery name groups field. So, now that we understand how to do a grouped search, we could do all kinds of different groupings. For instance, if we wanted to group over, instead of brewing company, perhaps alcohol percentage by volume. This might not work so much for the craft beers because they're a little bit more variable, but if you had domestic beers in here, it would probably be nice to know which ones are, 4% versus 3%. But in any case, this is very applicable to a wide range of business needs, and now you know how to do it using Django, so you can get a feel for how to do it in your own enterprise application.